was I started spending every moment I could possibly get at my computer going through these forums and just acquiring as much knowledge as I can and finding out which people on these forums are the players, which people are creating websites that are making them money, and which people have a solid business. And at the time, there were no internet marketers or gurus or mentors or anything like that because they were far and few between. So I was on this one forum, and it was a programming forum because I was trying to learn how to build my own website from the ground up, and I couldn't find a product out there that I really believed in. Well, I ran into this one programmer that was on a forum that was actually building software for automating some online tasks, and the online tasks were building multiple websites and promoting them in really creative ways. And but he was just on this forum basically selling his services to people, selling his automated scripts and whatnot. So what I did was I contacted him and I said, hey, I have some really interesting ideas that I would like to put into automation with marketing some websites. And these ideas were obviously out of the material that I was buying from these magazines, and it was just really long manual processes and strategies that I knew if I could automate them, I could build my business faster. So I asked this programmer, I said, hey, would you like to work together, and I can give you a base salary. I wish I could give you a base salary, but I explained to him my situation, how I was laid off, and I'm just getting started, and maybe we can work on more of a partnership deal. And he laughed at first, and until I started giving him some more information, told him like what we could do, and he said, yeah, let's go ahead and work together and give it a shot. And then after 6 months, we started making an incredible amount of money, and it was just all based off of me taking a couple products and some basic knowledge on building some websites and using his automation strategies, and that's when my life changed. Because I realized, that was my aha moment that I can sit at home, I can make money. This is at the dawn of the internet, which it's so much easier to make money now than it was back then, which a lot of people usually say the opposite, but I can get into that later. And once we started working together and we acquired more knowledge together, and I just went out and started networking with bigger and bigger people that have more websites that are making more money than I am, and aligned myself with them, and my business started growing from there.
Well, that's really, really amazing, because what you talked about doing was, first of all, going out and digging through these forums and these bulletin boards and seeing what was out there. Again, these are steps that most people wouldn't take because they would just keep saying, well, there's no resources for me and I don't know anything about this. So that would be the excuse I think that most people would come up with, but you didn't fall into the trap of the excuse. You just went out there and started trying to figure out what do I need to know and who can help me learn it. And you went out and found this guy. And another very interesting thing about that is that when you found this guy, you made him a proposal that, again, seemed maybe a little bit preposterous, just like your checklist sounded a little preposterous when you first told me about it. And then now you're making another kind of outlandish offer to somebody that I can't pay you anything, but we can work on a split or profits or some kind of partner. And I think a lot of people would be afraid to do that because they'd be afraid the guy would say no.
Right.
And if he said no to you, I guess what would your response have been?
If he said no to me, then I would have came right back at him with I would actually put together a spreadsheet of some numbers of if you worked with me and if we only did this, then here's how much we can make. But that's how I do when I get into any new business. I always put together a spreadsheet on what the possibility or the potential is if I put in 5 hours a week, if I put in 15 hours a week, and so forth. And that's what I would come back to him as. But as soon as he heard the opportunity and he realized I wasn't just some average forum lurker, that a lot of people out there are. They'll spend time on forums and answering questions on forums or just talking trash, unfortunately, on forums. They don't think to use forums as relationship builders. So, yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, but it worked out because you were willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do, and
right.
That's a very, very important point. And I guess the bottom line is really, as I'm thinking about this, what if you show them the spreadsheets, which, by the way, I hope you're all taking notes. I hope you guys are all taking lots of notes here because Mack has given you some amazing advice. When you did the spreadsheet, and if you showed it to him and he said, yeah, well, thanks a lot, Mack, but I'm not interested, then you could just say, okay, next, and then you would have gone and looked for somebody else, and you would have found a guy to do that because you weren't going to let the excuses slow you down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's
very important.
Yeah, whenever anybody comes across, when you're trying to network or even just learn like how to build a business or anything from home from like, let's say, one internet marketer, that's only one internet marketer, or one connection out of thousands and that are on these forums that are making millions of dollars. So, yeah, it wouldn't have worked out with him. I just would have went on to the next person. And I suggest that with everyone here. I mean, that's, the biggest advice that I can give all through this call is that you have to take action, because if you don't take action on your dreams or your hopes or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, it's just not going to work out.
Well, no, I mean, if you don't take any, like somebody listens to this right now, if they want to get something going and they have, again, they might call these things reasons, but you and I would call them excuses about why they can't do it, which could be anything from, I got to wait till, Johnny's bar mitzvah is over, or I got to wait till my son, graduates from college, or I got to wait till I get my bonus from my job, or I got to, whatever. I mean, there's I gotta, but there's all these, what we would call excuses. And a year from now, after they make all these excuses, all they'll be is a year older.
Exactly.
They'll be in the exact same position they're in now. So sounds like, what you did was you didn't want to be a year older and be in the same position, so you just kept plowing through. And again, with trial and error, and you found somebody that was willing to work with you. And like we both said, if he didn't, you would have found somebody else, and you would just go on and have the same success you have now. It just might have taken you a little longer or a different path, but you still wouldn't have let it stop you. And that's what's maybe something that everybody should be paying close attention to, is that you're not letting these things get in your way and stop you. Now we know how you got started a little bit. Let's talk about your amazing club, the Maverick Moneymakers Club, because it's a really amazing program. And maybe you can give us a brief overview on how that all came about.
Sure. Maverick Moneymakers, it actually just to me it came out of thin air, because I was not expecting to create a club like that at all. And for those that don't know what Maverick Moneymakers is yet, I'll tell you more about it a bit later if Jeff wants me to. But basically, after just months of working with this programmer and building out websites and building a business from home in a really unique way, I started finding other forums and bulletin boards that were popping up at the time, because the internet, when it started back in '94, every 6 months to a year on the internet, it feels like light years, because it's always snowballing, and so many more websites and so many more forums and communities just come out of nowhere. And so by the time I started making a decent amount of money, I found some forums out there and just private communities where there were successful people and self-made multimillionaires that were willing to share their methods and strategies with each other behind closed doors. And it was a paid membership at the time to do that. Well, I obviously joined the paid membership because I could afford it, and I knew it was going to help me build my business and take it to a greater level, because when I got started understanding what network marketing was about and getting to know people. So once I became a member of this forum and started sharing my secrets and how I was making money through the use of automation, I had a programmer, and I got him on board without even paying him anything in the beginning, unless I was making money. Everyone started really to kind of turn their heads because there's not a lot of people out there that did what I did at such an early stage in the internet. So once I started networking a little bit more, some people were coming to me and asking if I could be their mentor and actually help them build their business out on automation and use the strategies that I've discovered and apply them for their business. Well, at first, when the first person came to me and said that, I was just kind of floored, because I never in my life would have thought about, to be a mentor. I don't have any family history of people that have been like public speakers or mentors or anything like that. I came from a blue-collar family, so I knew I didn't have any kind of like hidden genes that's going to allow me to teach someone